Hello, welcome back to Being in Nothingness. It's been a while, like a really long while. I think it's been like almost 2 years. Two? No, almost a year since I played this game. I went back and played it all over again. So you'll realize that I have fewer levels solved now than I do in the previous episode. This is not like a I forgot to upload this episode kind of thing. I am actually continuing the series starting today. Speaking of which, if you are just watching it after release, Happy New Year. I think this is scheduled to be uploaded on the 1st of January. So that's cool. So yeah, I guess we're gonna keep continuing. I have played through all the Vine levels that I have beaten in the playthrough so far, which leaves one Vine puzzle that I have not yet beaten. This is 7 beans in a box. Every other puzzle I have also beaten thus far. I have, however, not yet entered the icicle area, which is here. As you can see, it's not yet marked as icicle, so I can't enter there yet. Yeah, I can't enter there yet. Is this brown? Kind of looking at the colors here. This is technically using the 4-color theorem, but it's not really using the 4-color one, two. No, it's not. It has 5 colors. Wait, yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, it has 5 colors in it. It's not using the 4-color theorem. I don't know why, but like, I'm thinking that I'm thinking whether it's the brown areas that can be accessed, or if it's. I know all the red areas can eventually be quick traveled to. This brown area can also be quick traveled to. But not all brown areas can be quick traveled to for some reason. Like this one specifically cannot be quick traveled to, which is interesting. Anyway, right. So once again, beaten all levels in Island of Vines except 7 beans in the box, which in the original playthrough also wasn't beaten. So today, rather than going back to the Island of Icicles, which hasn't even been unlocked yet, I will eventually play through all the levels I played before just to get myself into the flow of things once again with the icicles. But today we are going to focus on this level and seeing if we can make any progress on it. I tried it for a bit. I watched my playthrough to see how I epically failed in that puzzle. And let's try to actually do this again. So, 2 yellow beans for a bomb implies we need both yellow beans from here to blow you up. Multiple ways that can be done, this blowing up. It can be a vine eating you. It can be a bomb bouncing into... It could be a bomb bouncing into an object and then exploding. It could theoretically be a bomb frozen in motion moving horizontally here and hitting this wall. Although that is unlikely, because a bomb frozen in motion has to be in the grasp of a vine, right? And how can a vine ever hold on to something here? It would need to be either pulling from below or below itself to actually pull a bomb in this direction. That is my first reasoning as to why that isn't going to work. Second reason why it's not going to work is because to release a object that's frozen in motion, I have to kill the vine that's holding on to it. And that requires a bomb itself, so that's also not possible. The most likely thing I think is happening is a vine consuming the bomb. So yeah, that is my thought. Yeah. Couple of things I would like to note is that there can be nothing underneath a vine's arm when grabbing. I think we made that clear before. When a vine grabs, it grabs the things nearest to it. So it suddenly can't grab something further away from a bean that is closer to it, meaning that it can never be a bean underneath its arm when it grabs. I think. That is, of course, unless another vine, also happens to be grabbing stuff at the same time. I'm kind of wondering if that's actually possible. I think a vine here cannot grab this object, so this object can't be pulled horizontally. This bean is actually kind of an interesting bean. I'm pretty sure it has to be collected with a vine. A bucket cannot collect it because it can't bounce off anything. So this one is the one that's either this is collected with a bucket or something like that. I have 1 bucket. I also have 2 rollers, which will help me deal with this thing, I would assume. That's what the rollers are for. Rollers is or are for. I could potentially actually have... hold on. I need to test something. I want to see if I can potentially put a roller here without messing up anything else. So let's see if I can't even get in here in the first place. That's what I'm trying to do, right? Yeah. Alright, never mind. I'm kind of clueless about this. I don't know why there's a little cul-de-sac here for the slime where I can stand. Is it because a bean is supposed to drop something here? This is a place for me to be then, because you know, monsters can be anywhere else. But I can be here. I can only be here in this giant pile of slime. Also, 7 beans in a box is interesting because 5 of those beans start outside this box. Unless they mean the entire level being a box. In which case, why not just title the puzzle 7 beans? 7 beans in a box is a very interesting title, although I probably shouldn't think much into it. Yeah, this bean is either collected by Vine or collected by me, actually. It can be collected by me. In fact, it should be collected by me. If it's collected by a vine, then the vine needs to drop the bean before eating it. If it eats the bean, then it can't be retrieved because nothing can blow up the vine. How about... No. Let's think how about like I honestly have no idea. Like, I think I'm gonna keep trying stuff. Okay, so the first thing I definitely want to do is... Actually, I don't mind just... no, I need to put the bean down first. The first thing I would like to do is try this out. So this is one setup I can use to get in here. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of time to actually get in. There comes some issue though, which is I can't really get out. I guess if I put another roller here, I could try to get out. So, alright. Oh, no. So what I'm planning to do at this point is to put down something to act as a piece of fodder. So maybe like a green bean, for example. The green bean basically acts... Oh, I'm one short. Okay. Well, I probably shouldn't actually activate you so quickly then. So yeah, this somewhat lets me do what I want. But you'll notice something very awkward here. That while I have the... Oh. Oops. Yeah, that's kind of also a problem, I guess. That is kind of also a problem. I don't actually have the beans either. Wait, no. Hold on. What do I want to do here? Hold on. Wait, I can't actually use you to block me, can I? I can. Can I? It's kind of hard to do that. Yeah, I actually find it kind of difficult for me to do that. I guess if I already put a bean here, I could actually get it out a bit more easily. Again, this is still not going to work really because... Yeah, so the one thing I can actually use this bucket for is just to get this bean already. That isn't even part of the puzzle. So actually with this setup, I'm pretty sure I can get all the beans that I need. It's just that the final setup doesn't work. What is your range, by the way? Oh, you can't hit me from here. That is also unfortunate, slightly. But hopefully I can eventually show you what the final setup would look like. Yeah, so the final setup would look like this. And now, I have everything I need. Well, I have the bomb. But there's obviously a problem, which is that, you know, I can't actually blow up the bomb at all. For obvious reasons. If you see very far, you see so far. So where can I put the bomb then? I do think in theory that maybe a vine here can help with this. So it's a bit less awkward. It doesn't really help. I think the best idea is to put another vine here. But then we lose a bean, right? Unless, you know... Like, there has to be a vine here to eat the bomb and explode and then get rid of you as a result. I think that's how it works. But there's some obvious issue here, you know? With regards to that. Maybe I need to initiate like a strangle? I need to initiate a fight between these two things. Isn't really gonna help. Do I really need another bean here? Is the question. Do I actually need another bean here? Kind of actually, yeah. Because if I don't... Hold on. Okay, let me just try this again. So let's get this guy out. I definitely don't want to sacrifice a yellow bean, so I don't want to put it anywhere where a vine can grab it. That would be really stupid. Okay. I think I want to put a vine here. Okay, I also wanted to put a vine here. Okay, hold on. I need to think about how to order these things. So like... These vines will see each other. They're actually just barely in range. Which means I can't really... Oh, I can. That works. Okay. Not very useful. Because it's gonna be fairly difficult for me to do that with a roller here. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be really difficult for me to pull that off here. So I kinda don't really want this. Anyway, let me just grab this bean first. I'm gonna show why it is not a good idea to not have a green bean there as fodder. Because while I can do this, how to get out? The only time I can get out is while you're distracted with that. And because you are already grabbing the roller here, I can't quite get out because the roller's already gone. It's long gone. If you were however eating something else at that point in time, then in theory I would still have time to walk through here while you're eating this other fodder that isn't this rolling monster. So yeah, that's bad. So what else can I do? I feel like the bucket's being underused. The bucket just to get that yellow bean out with no extra duty is really suspicious. Maybe I could have a vine there? Why would I want a vine there? I don't know. I'm thinking like one of the interesting things I could do is, besides getting a yellow bean, I can put something else in. So I could put something in here, for example. And because you will collect the yellow bean, you can put something in there, which is okay. It makes that bean accessible. But why wouldn't I just hold on to it until I enter? Why would I want this bean here? Unless I wanted to spawn while I'm outside, maybe. That is not what I want. No, a vine... Vine grabbing you is bad, isn't it? I don't want a vine to grab you at all. Unless another vine grabs it from you. But then again, a vine grabbing that bean is just not good. That one I'm pretty sure I have to grab with my own hands. Because a vine can't grab anything, really. Unless, you know, the vine... Yeah. Unless the vine is willing to... Unless I'm willing to let the vine die, which I'm not, because... Not because I'm trying to save it, but because I don't have the resources to kill it. So vines shouldn't grab any yellow beans. The vines can grab red beans. They can grab rollers. I wonder if a vine could snatch a roller. Like, how interesting would that be? To snatch a roller from another vine. I wonder if I could use that, maybe. Although it doesn't seem very logical to do that. Why would that be a good thing, anyway? It wouldn't. It'd be really interesting, though. Yeah, look at that. So that's there now. What good is that supposed to... That's not good at all, right? I like that. I guess I get pulled out by a vine. No, I can't get pulled out by a vine, again, because the vine can't explode. Although maybe a vine could explode, like... no, I mean... What if I get pulled... No, the bomb explosion has to happen here. Which cannot kill a vine pulling me out from here or here. The exposure radius just is not big enough. So I can't have a single bomb both blow up this and blow up a vine that's pulling me. Although what I could theoretically maybe do is have myself be snatched out of the hands of a vine, right? If a vine pulled me out here and another vine pulled me down, maybe that's good enough. And then I can set up a bomb. But how would I do that? That just... How about the other way around, where I'm pulled down, then pulled over? How would I get a bomb to work then? Like, there just isn't really any good place where I could set up a bomb, like... Right? A vine here grabbing a bomb would be interesting. But the vine grabbing the bomb would be the one exploding. And the one would be exploding would be dying, right? The other vine, if it were to grab me, would have to be really far away from that explosion. Which would therefore not kill the vine and therefore not release me. Like, even as low as possible. Actually, here is actually pretty low. Could that be doable? Could I be pulled out from here? Or maybe that's what this is for. No, this is not a real thing, is it? If I'm pulled out from here, I could be pulled down, but that would never cause a bomb to explode anywhere. Like, that wouldn't make any sense at all. Also, to get in here in the first place, that's the thing that I'm gonna need this button for. To get here in the first place. To get out, I could use a vine, because getting out would be very close to the explosion part of the solution. So I could technically try and engineer a way to get them to happen very close to each other. But entering comes first, and there's a pretty significant amount of time between entering and exiting. Significant amount of time taken to grab this bean. So I kinda, I'm just thinking, is there really no way where I can be pulled out by a vine, cause an explosion that kills both the vine carrying me, as well as this block? That seems very challenging. Like, the issue is that I would need to be carrying both beans. I mean, even if I wasn't, the end goal is to put both beans on the same tile. If that were the case, then I might as well be holding both beans and putting them both down, because putting down beans doesn't cost anything. They'll be on the same tile then. But because I'm being pulled away, can I ever be pulled towards... Okay, let me think about this. Yeah, whatever. What happens when I'm at the midpoint? They both grab me, right? I don't know why that one wins, but... Is it by distance? Is it by who's further away? It is by who's further away. But if it's equal, then apparently it's the left one that gets me. Could I be held in limbo until I set up a bomb? I feel like that's kind of difficult. I mean, not the limbo part. Limbo part is actually really easy. Limbo needs them to be 8 apart, I think. Does Limbo need them to be 8 apart? I think Limbo needs them to be like 8 apart. Does it? I don't even know. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Limbo needs them to be 8 apart. I don't know if it can be like any closer or any further away. The idea is that it needs to be... Actually, I have no idea what the idea is. But yeah, this keeps me forever in limbo. Could I use this setup to get myself out? Seems difficult. Like, it just straight up seems difficult. I could put a bean here, and then another bean down here. That would be interesting to keep me in limbo. That theoretically would keep me in limbo, actually. So, 1, 2, 3, and then blank here, and then blank here, and then green here would be counted. So what I would like to do is I would like to maybe grab you, get rid of you. Not get rid of you, get the yellow bean out of you, and then put a green bean over there. So what happens after this is that this will really actually be putting me in limbo. No, I need to go up first. And then down right about now. No, down right about now. This should keep me in limbo. And if I have all the yellow beans that I want, if I have both yellow beans, basically, there's nothing I can set up here, right? No, nothing's close enough. I'm going to be forever in limbo until something dies. There's no way I can get out of this. Turns out even like trying to move doesn't count as an actual move, it just counts as changing direction. I'm holding shift here. I am not holding shift. Almost certain that perhaps a roller could be activated to like block the way, maybe? It's like here a roller could be activated, which would block the way. I mean, wouldn't that just cause you to consume me completely? I don't think limbo works. I'm sure the answer's not that difficult. I'm sure it's not that complicated. I've already made a lot of deductions about what I can do. I just don't know how to get there. Deduction is... I need to collect this. Where can I grow from that? Where can I go from that? The reason why I thought vines were a good idea is because I don't know how likely it is I can get this to be reactivated. Right? So like, okay, why not? Hold on. Let me just get this thing out first. One thing I have not yet tried is putting a... Well, I don't know what, but I haven't tried it yet, I guess. No. I need to put a green bean here. Here is important, because here lets me stand here, which will let a vine here pick me up, which is also the place that... the furthest place from the block where a blowing up will actually hit the block. Kinda actually means that I don't actually have to like use on any of these beans anymore. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put a red bean here to sort of distract you for a while. You know what, whatever. Consuming that is fine. So I have both yellow beans now. What happens when this happens? I can put down beans. There you go, you can blow up, but that's bad, isn't it? I kinda want it to be the other way around, where you are the one who eats the yellows. But there is no limbo to be made here. There is no limbo, because you guys are not parallel. You guys aren't grabbing me like both from left and right. You're grabbing from one above and one from the side. Whatever happens to this bean is just gone. I can't even push it anymore. So interesting, but like, it's just not enough. I want the opposite, right? But whatever steps I do, I always get this to explode and this to not explode. I feel like I'm using the red bean wrongly too. But how would I use the red bean correctly, I guess? How would I use the other red bean correctly? If I did this, I wouldn't have time to enter. If I did this, I clearly wouldn't be able to survive. Which is why I'm putting down this bean to like try to act as a distraction. You eat that? That's interesting, I think. Yeah, okay. I guess that can happen. Can I put things in the water? Just asking. I can, then they sink. But they float in the water for a moment, which is interesting. I wonder if blowing... Oh, it doesn't actually... Oh, yeah, okay. Nothing can happen after this. In theory, the vine would continue blowing up the bomb, but because I'm already dead, it doesn't matter. That doesn't revive me or anything. I don't stay in any sort of limbo. Just because you guys are definitely not far enough for any sort of... Like, you guys aren't in the right spots for limbo to happen. Even if you guys were, which, you know, I highly doubt to be. It just straight up wouldn't work. Because, you know, this grab would never occur. You guys would be parallel to each other. Yeah, that's really cool. That's not useful at all. I feel like I'm really close, but I also feel like I'm using something wrongly, which makes my solution not right. I should reset that up just so I can come back to it when I need to. So let's set a bookmark here in case we ever want to come back to that. The idea of the idea of a bean or something kind of being snatched away seems important. That's generally what every multi-vine puzzle uses. Like I know Cave-In had that sort of like limbo-ish setup, and one of the others also had it. I think it was easier being than done where we had to do a limbo, where we had to set up a limbo. Not entirely sure though, like at all, what I want here. Do I want snatching? Yeah, you can't actually reach from here to here, so that's actually pointless. I don't know how I feel about this thing. Like a roller being here, being pulled in by a vine seems to be my most efficient way of getting stuff in. So that's cool. But I can get in and then like I can walk past, I can't get back out. What if I just put two? It wouldn't work, would it? I think it straight up just wouldn't work. Yeah, this would happen. They would clash. And then this actually wouldn't let me... Yeah. Oh, look at that. Okay. So I don't think that works. Unless something can block you. Yeah. It's not close enough, I guess. I mean, okay, this actually doesn't really work either. It kind of works-ish. I'm immediately being chased out. Nope, that wouldn't work. I'm looking at different options to get this held open. I wonder if it's possible at all to just hold it open. I suppose it could be, maybe, if a vine was there. A vine being here actually wouldn't hurt at all. But the problem is that if this thing is eaten by the vine, then there's no backstop. There must be a backstop. So that wouldn't work either. I've made a lot of progress with the initial entrance. I'm starting to like completely stop believing in the vine getting me out situation, which means there has to be something else stepping on this to get me out. But what? If I'm almost certain this is a bucket, I'm almost certain that's a bucket. I suppose in theory though, something could pull me out this way and then pull me down? But the thing pulling me out is definitely an issue. Oh, right. That vine being alive is kind of awkward. But also, this would completely not let me cause this vine to be alive. Although, I guess to be fair, why would I need... Why do I want that? I mean, this wouldn't really work though, would it? It wouldn't. I mean, if I could just use a bucket to get you out, why wouldn't I do that? What could a bucket, besides, you know, getting you out, be used for? Could be used to put something here, or something here. Why would I ever want to do that? It could be used as fodder, maybe, to block the way of a vine, so that I can get in and get out, even though the vine is here. That could happen in a lot of places. The final goal seems to be... Actually, a vine... Hold on. What about eating a bomb as it travels this way? What about that? The difficulty would be actually setting up a bomb and then moving it horizontally, I think. Because how would you set up a bomb moving horizontally here? You would need... Maybe... You definitely can't put a bomb here. The best space for a bomb to be is here, which is difficult. But if you had a horizontal bomb moving horizontally... Horizontal what? If you had a bomb moving horizontally, what you could do is have it move to this position, get pulled down by a vine here, have it explode, and then get rid of this. That would be interesting. It might also be interesting if maybe a roller here stopped a bucket. Oh, okay, okay. Let's try that. We might have a bit of issue with this guy though. Yeah, we might have a bit of issue with that guy. Although I guess maybe roller here can actually come and help out while I come down here. Okay. Seems like a decent idea. Okay, hold on. Before that, I'm gonna have to set it up so that the vine here is below the vine here, which I think is totally fine. The timing isn't as strict anymore, so the beans can be moved around slightly. So I have a couple things I want to do at this point. I want to set up a roller here. Actually, I also want to set up a bucket in here. So bucket there will block vision of view. I can set up stuff here now. Pushing bucket here and putting roller here should get the bucket to move around normally. I think that's fine. What I can do is when you get eaten, I just grab this guy, come up here, and hopefully the bucket will not have... Ooh, wait. I need to put the bean in a nice spot where it will not be... Actually, it's kind of hard to tell. Hold on. Okay, that's fine, I think. I think that's about as good as it gets. I'll do that here. So like this would be good. Yeah, this gives you the most time between being eaten here and, you know, something else. Okay. That's a problem. Can I maybe barely make it if I did this? I don't think I can. You're kind of also going to block the way of the bomb. Yeah, no, I can't, yeah. Hold on. Why don't I put the, why don't I shoot you while you're here? So I want you to be open first. No. Okay. So later, or earlier, I mean. At this point, I will hit you. I want to stand on you when I can. Shoot you so the beans stay. Oh, but you are gonna fall. I don't want you to fall. Okay, hold on. That's a much better way of doing this. I think what I need to do is... hold on. I need to put the other bean here instead of wherever I put it. Is that possible? I feel like something's gonna happen that's wrong here. Okay. What I want you to do here is I want to hit you now, I think. Okay, maybe slightly earlier. So now? Yeah, I want this to okay, yeah, okay, this was like a good time. Oh, you are way too fast. Could I have set it up better? Yeah, I definitely could have set it up better, right? Why didn't I do that? Wait, okay, I can set this up better. Hold on. The timing could have been way better. Actually, could it have been way better? This might not work still. I feel like I'm potentially a tiny bit closer though. Maybe? So what about now? I want you to... that seems okay. Oh, it's one off. Wait, it's one off? Is it always gonna be one off like that? Yeah, because of the shooting. It wouldn't be one off like this, but then the vine would eat. Okay. Also, there's a lot of other stuff in the way as well. There's a lot of other stuff in the way, actually. Hold on. No. Oh, that's a problem as well, huh? Never actually thought of that. Okay, I feel like my idea here is just really bad then. Unless you were here, that would solve some problems actually. That would solve two problems. Both problems I have, where you run the risk of your bean being eaten, as well as the roller being eaten. Both would be solved by the roller just being moved over. Okay. So all I need to do is to get down here and block early enough, which I can do like that. Good. Okay. Timing works better now. Is this good enough timing? I don't know. Let's assume this works. Actually, why would it work? Hold on. You're very in the way, actually. You're like several times in the way. And yeah, you can never get past the bucket. You can never even see past the bucket unless the bucket's gone. Hmm. Yeah, you'll never see past the bucket unless the bucket's gone. Hmm. Okay, well then that's clearly a problem there then. Because you will... hold on. The idea that I'm looking for is what? You are here so that you can be eaten here, allowing me to enter. Me exiting will always be a problem. I thought it could be fixed by the other roller coming in here and being eaten again. The way I would have fixed that is if I had this bomb, this bean, in here, that's already pushed over and eaten. Do I need the bucket for that? Hold on. That's what this is for, right? Is that? Wait, hold on. No, I'm not sure. That would very likely simply suggest I just get the bean out. Or, you know, I guess here. I guess that's also fine. Doesn't really matter at that point because I'm going to put it there anyway. Plus, I need to put down a bean, so this doesn't really matter. This one I can do like that. This one I can do like this. What I'm planning to do here... right, yeah, sure, whatever. What I want is to do this, I think. Oh, that's another problem. Okay, well, why did I put the bean there and not somewhere like here? Uh, so yeah, like this kind of works-ish, but there's obviously a problem. Oh. Hey, that's mean, firstly, but okay. I always swap your positions, I guess. Actually, can I do that? I don't even know if I can do that. That's actually very mean. I can push it over this way, though. You get eaten this way. And then this way. What am I planning here? What am I planning here now? Oh, whatever, give me that. You are going to be at the bottom and you are going to be at the top. You're gonna be here. You're gonna be here. We're gonna do some cool stuff, I guess. This isn't gonna work. We don't have the time for this, yeah. Ah, not cool. Not cool at all. Yeah, the timing here doesn't seem to work either. What did I try doing? Right, I tried to do this, and the reason why I want the vines here and here is because when I push the vine this way from this position, the vine will get eaten by you, pulled by you, and then pulled by you this way. So that pulling seems interesting. That, however, does not account for this, so I can never actually get out. Unless I try hard enough, which I don't think I can do. Ideally, what I want is to get in and out with this bean. I'm not sure that's possible. If that was possible, I would have done it a long time ago, by the way. Like a long, long time ago. It just isn't. Right? I need an extra bean as fodder, which is not doable. Because one bucket gets me in the bucket, the other bucket will get me out. Both green beans are required. Bucket was already used. So I don't have anything else to act as to hold on to you. Or you. So this setup is just massively inefficient as well. It gets us closer, but it's also inefficient. So it's not going to work. I'm kind of stumped then. Was this testing the limbo thing? No, it was testing me being pulled out. Right. Not useful, I don't think. Let's try a lot of things then. Another promising idea would have been the bucket horizontally here. But unfortunately that didn't seem to go very well. I feel like the placement of... It would be very cool if... Like, it would work perfectly if it were me pushing a bomb here, because a bomb can only be here to be pushed this way. And then grab downwards. And because this and this are exactly far enough apart, that would also indicate that there is a pulling of a bomb here. There's obviously a problem doing that though. Any higher and this wouldn't work anymore. If this were higher than this, it also wouldn't work because the pulling down would never be intercepted by you. So it doesn't work anymore here. And if I hit you first, then you would eat me. Unless I had fodder, which I don't. Don't have fodder. I mean, yeah, sure, but... your range goes pretty far. Like, you always hit here at the very least. So yeah, I can't do anything here. It's so interesting though. I guess the other thing that could happen is that even if I had both beans, if I did have both beans, right, I could just push it this way. Which would be no different than just getting you here. So this setup actually is inefficient because there's a much simpler way to get the bomb here anyway. Which then tells me that there must have been a better way to set this up. If I am thinking of pushing a bomb through here, what is another way to get me out? Okay, so I keep forgetting the steps and the order in which you need to do these. There's no reason that that's just what the bucket does. I feel like the bucket has to do something else. It is not that useless. That bucket is not just there to do that. There is no way. That bucket has to be for something else. Blockade, maybe. But what could it blockade? It could blockade the line of sight from a vine. So I could step above it right now and do stuff. But a vine being there is not useful. It could be used to put things in places. So as I said, you know. How about green bean? Yeah, but why would I want to put, like, the only place I want to put stuff is on the slime, because that's where I can't go. Anywhere I can go, I'll just put it there when I'm there. Unless I'm not there for some reason. That wouldn't make any sense. I guess it could act as maybe a way of obtaining fodder? No, it couldn't, could it? No, that wouldn't make sense. Where could I put things that are useful? There's no useful vine. Is there? Is there any spot that's good for a vine? Not in here, I don't think. Any roller here I could have just put here if I wanted to. Yeah, I don't see it. I just don't. I've definitely spent long enough in this. So I think I'm gonna call it an episode. Again, no progress on this, so I'm gonna leave this till next time once again then. Next episode I'll either continue working on this and continue struggling, or I will move on to Icicle Land as promised. Yeah, so still no dice on this one, we'll see what we can do. But until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.